At the height of the lockdown, it was profound, I think. I felt like we were all in a meditative state, and I felt like when we went out into the street and you'd be walking, people you never knew were just saying hello. This sense of trying to maintain space, but in a funny way, because I connected, knowing we were coming together, the space brought us together in a way that we hadn't really experienced before. Normally everyone's kind of on the move. Really noticed it heading down to my local park, Petersham Park. There were sort of peak times there. The morning, 6 a.m. was like madness. Then I think everyone went home to work. And then in the evening, it was just so busy, clusters of all sorts. And everyone's trying to keep their distance, but I don't know, it was sort of not working, I think. My 15-year-old would come home and he was just outraged. He just said, what are they thinking? There's too many people in Petersham Park. He's going, they're not keeping distance. I think there's more than 4 people, or that's not a family cluster. But somehow in the park, I think people felt that they could almost get away with it. We were sort of in it together. There's this sense of camaraderie, we're all in this together, and it's a really healthy space. And I know we'll probably miss it. I already miss it. I already missed the peak of COVID, and I missed the peak of lockdown and that moment where everything paused and we all got together and the streets were quiet. We're not saying hello as much anymore. I feel like it's almost passing a little bit.
So one of the fantastic things Centennial Park did is they closed the park to cars on weekends. And so the streets were full of people on bikes, on scooters, on rollerblades, I saw people skiing but with wheels underneath their skis, you know, all sorts of things, using the space in ways that you can't do when cars are there. I guess it was early enough, it wasn't so cold, it was just beautiful, and so many people getting excited thinking, although this is a compromise and this is trying to deal with a global health crisis, the coronavirus, it also got people very excited thinking about why are streets the way they are, and this is fantastic, and why don't we have this all of the time?
It's been a struggle, but yeah, we've also learnt a lot during this experience. Like, we've got to do a lot of stuff that you wouldn't particularly get to do if you were doing day-to-day life before COVID, I guess. And we've got a cataloguing system now starting to get in, so we've got understanding around proper preservation and restoration around artworks. There's been works done to the gallery to make it ready, so there's been little improvements, even though we have been still trying to figure out how we're going to continue to keep going with this. It's pushed us ahead too, in a weird way, yeah.
A lot of my role is about caring for the property and the collections within it. And I saw the opportunity, once the houses closed, to buckle down and clean everything. And I mean everything. So I started a process of working from room to room throughout Elizabeth Bay House and Vaucluse House, and cleaning absolutely everything in each of those spaces. It meant that the houses were still getting the life that they needed, opening the shutters, letting light, letting air in, and giving them love. And that's what I focused on for the last 3 months. And I knew that the result at the end of that would be an even more wonderful experience, I think, for people coming back to these houses, for people to get out of their own homes to come to a house museum and see all of the stories that they can tell. For me, it was actually quite a productive period, and that I knew the outcome would be a really positive experience once we could open the doors to visitors again.